4 straight wins, 6-2 on the season, and the second seed in the East right now. We'll talk about the Detroit Pistons win over the Utah Jazz in just a moment. Welcome back to the Pistons Jack YouTube channel. As I said off the top, we are going to be discussing the Pistons 114-103 win over the Utah Jazz. And this game was another fun one, another great finish from the team after a bit of a so-so couple of our first 3 quarters, I want to say, a back and forth contest. But the Pistons right now, they are 6-2. And before we get to the man of the game, I just want to take a moment to just think about the Detroit Pistons are 6-2. They are second in the Eastern Conference right now, with the team above them being the Chicago Bulls, who are 6-1, who the Pistons almost beat opening night. Like, the Pistons have beaten the Rockets, they've beaten the Celtics, they've beaten the Magic, they've beaten the Mavericks, they've beaten the Grizzlies on the road. And I don't think up until tonight they have played with what you would call a bad team in the NBA. Maybe the Mavs because they had some injuries, but plenty of other teams in the East have played the Wizards, they've played the Nets, they've played the Hornets. Pistons haven't played those teams yet. They've had, I would say if you want to put it in the middle as like a normal schedule, I would say they've gone to like the harder side of the schedule. They've had some tough road games. They won in Houston. And tonight, like I said on my preview, I actually expected this to be a close game. I just think at this time of the season when most teams are healthy, and I know the Jazz were without Walker Kessler, who was announced with a season-ending injury this morning, but I just think this time of the year when players are still healthy, they're still fresh, you're going to get like some differing results. And I expected the Jazz, who just beat the Celtics a couple of days ago in Boston, to come out and put up a decent fight, and they did. But the Pistons handled business and they won. And like I said, they're 6-2 with a decent schedule. And I just think that is huge. It's the first time, I think they said pre-game, George said the last time they were 5-2 was 2017. And I don't reckon they were 6-2 that season. Now, they did get to 14-6 in that season of that 17-18 year. But right now, like I've said on the past few shows when I've highlighted this, like this team feels so much different because, put simply, they have Cade Cunningham. And before I get to Cade, like I just really want to emphasize how weird of a feeling this is. Like, in a way, a great weird feeling. Like, I'm sitting on the couch or standing. You've probably seen some of my videos. But I'm so into these games. And it was only like 18 months ago we were down in the dumps with, looking down the barrel of what we all thought might have just been a cursed roster. So to be 6-2, I know it's early. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I'm just so happy that we have a team like this. And I'm happy for us as fans that we're getting to experience a team start the season well and just have expectations and hope. But let's get to the man who pretty much holds all of our hope and the expectations in Cade Cunningham. As you can see across the bottom, another 30-point night. He had 31 points, 10 assists, another second game in a row with 19 points in the fourth quarter. It was a weird first 3 quarters for Cade shooting the ball. I don't know what it is, but his jumper just isn't clicking in the first 3 quarters so far this season. But when it gets to the last quarter, I don't know what it is, but as I said in previous videos, I just know, and he clearly has a confidence, but just as a fan watching, I just know he's going to hit shots. Like, I just know he's going to knock down shots. Even if he's had some turnovers, even if he's missed some threes badly, which has been strange, even if he's been missing free throws, which he barely got tonight, but as soon as it comes to the fourth quarter, whether he's making crazy reverse finishes, pull-up threes, fading baseline middies, like, the full bag was on display in that fourth quarter. And I know the Jazz maybe at home aren't as a tough out as the Grizzlies, but I almost think tonight was the type of shot making was more impressive. And doing it on the home court, LCA was chanting MVP for this guy during play, not when he was at the free throw line, during play. And Cade kind of hoisted a couple of crazy heat checks, but they were up double digits. Didn't matter too much. He missed them, but this guy is just a superstar. Like, I know people are going to still like, some people are like, oh, he's only shooting 42% or like, the efficiency. Honestly, I don't really care because I watch the games. We watch the games And when it comes to the fourth quarter, he's delivering every time. The only fourth quarter he hasn't played was the Cavs game, and then he almost dragged them to victory in that fourth quarter against the Bulls. Like the Pistons could have won that game, let's not forget. They started horribly, but when it gets to the fourth quarter, it's winning time, and I can't tell you how good it is as a fan to just know not only is he going to make shots, he's going to make the right decisions, and the opposing defense is going to be just losing their mind trying to either stay in front of him, figure out what his next move's going to be, and it's just a joy to watch. So let me know your thoughts about Cade. I'm trying not to glaze too hard here, but he's just been so exceptional in fourth quarters. Some quick numbers for you all. I posted these on Twitter, so if you follow me there, you would have seen them. But total points in the fourth quarter this season, Cade Cunningham has 86. The next closest is Tyrese Maxey at 70. Then we have Larry Markkinen 65, Austin Reeves at 61. All of those players have played the same amount of games or same amount of fourth quarters as Cade. So this isn't, I'm just flagging it, a case of he's played more minutes, he's played more fourth quarters. It's not. He has 86. The next closest is 70. Just insane. And he's doing it on good efficiency. I don't have those numbers, but I know from yesterday he was around 50% from the field, 40% from three. I'm assuming those are the same, if not better, since yesterday. And just to wrap it up on Cade, listen to his last 4 games. In the 4-game winning streak, 31 points, 10 assists tonight. In Memphis, 33 points, 8 assists. Now keep in mind those past 2 games, 2 19-point fourth quarters. Against the Mavs, 21 points and a career high 18 assists. And then against the Orlando Magic, 30 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. All wins, 6-2 on the season. The Pistons are second in the East. He should be in MVP convos. I'm not saying he's ahead of Wemby, but if he's not in that top 5, top 6, people aren't watching Pistons basketball. So, moving on. I'm going to go to Isaiah Stewart. First half. This team was a bit up and down the first half in particular. Offense was sputtering. Cade was missing shots. But Isaiah Stewart just defends his ass off. 3 blocks. I'm pretty sure it said 4 at halftime, so it looks like they've deducted 1. 2 of 6 from 3, 10 points, 6 rebounds, but went beyond the box score. Honestly, watching him defend Larry Markkinen in that first half, it was insane. He was fighting through screens on the perimeter like a guard, staying with Larry to there was I think they ran a double drag where they had 2 screens for Larry to come up, and Stu's fighting through those on the perimeter. Next possession down, he's defending Keontae George and then defending Svi Mikhailuk after getting switched. In one possession, locking them up. And then he's blocking shots. Incredible. I know he missed a couple of threes. At times you can see him trying to expand his offensive game, and it does lead to a turnover. One comes to mind where he tried a spin move and just it didn't work, but I don't know, man. The defense this guy brings, what a weapon, what a player. I think he's been the most impressive Piston compared to probably what expectations we had so far. Cade's the best player. I'm not saying Stu's the best player, but just expectations we had coming for the season. Stu's just been on another level. And then Asar Thompson, the man with the highest plus minus on the team. In 31 minutes, he had a plus 22. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. 4 of 6 from the line. So we love to see that after struggling last game. And then 7 of 12 from the field. Just a menace. Just an absolute menace. And I'm really enjoying him showing off the extra craft he has now as a finisher using the left. And I think his decision making is getting better. I love when he's aggressive. I do. He looked a bit tentative to open the game, but then something switched halfway through that second quarter. He was just aggressive. I think overall with the Pistons, something that was frustrating me in the first half, and mainly a fair bit with Cade because he has the ball so much, but they didn't have Walker Kessler. They only had Yusuf Nurkic at the center. They got Svi Mikhailuk on the perimeter. Larry Markkinen is not known as a defender. I just felt like the Pistons weren't attacking, especially early. I don't know if they were just taking it easy because they knew it was the Jazz, but they got down by as many as 10. And then thankfully in the third, they flipped a switch. But this game was close. The Jazz didn't go away, and I have to credit them. They coached well. Svi Mikhailuk had a revenge game with 28 points against the Pistons. Larry Markkinen had an inefficient 25, but kind of got going there a little bit when the Jazz were hanging around. Keontae George, 19 points, only 6 of 18. I mean, Svi was the one that was just killing the Pistons, and there was times where they just left him wide open, which I didn't understand. Like, so this game wasn't like all easy breezy. In fact, it was pretty frustrating for a lot of it up until the last quarter. But yeah, just a really encouraging fourth. And if we look at like the summary on the night for each quarter, the Pistons outscore the Jazz by 11 in the third and then outscore them by 2 in the fourth. So that's where your double-digit win comes from. The first half was definitely suspect, but I want to see them start better. Like, it wasn't disastrous like we saw in the first 4 games where the starters were just giving up massive, like, 15-point leads. But probably the first game I'll say that the Pistons have won with Duncan Robinson not being much of a factor. Yeah, he's getting hunted a fair bit. Well, he does all the time. But, you know, these games will happen. They still were able to overcome it. And then Jalen Duren, this just quietly snuck up on me, but he had 22 points, 22 rebounds. He had a point there. So the Pistons got down by double digits with Cade on the floor in the second quarter. They take Cade out because I think he had the 3 fouls. And I want to say you had out there Ron, Asar, Javonte, Jalen Duren, and Stu maybe. At least 4 of those guys. And they were able to get the lead back from 12 to back to 2 at the half. And I think Jalen Duren scored 12 points in a row. Like, that man's contract value is just going up and up. I don't know what he wanted in the offseason. Maybe he was already asking for a max. But whatever the Pistons offered him in the offseason is certainly not what they're going to be re-signing him for if he keeps playing like this. And although that hurts our cap, I guess it is a good thing to see JD just putting this type of pressure on. Because, yeah, he still sometimes just tries to do a little bit too much with the ball in hand. But I'm not going to lie, even if it looks awkward, he's finishing around the rim. Even on some of like these finger rolls, when he takes it off like the bounce for 1 or 2 dribbles, it's solid. It's really solid. Like 7 offensive rebounds, just a beast, just an absolute beast. I will highlight Ron. I thought Ron Holland hit like a really nice 3. I think the Jazz got it back to 3 points. I can't remember if it was end of the third, early fourth, and then Cade kicks it to Ron, who hits a big-time 3 to put him back up by 6, which I thought was crucial. And just a big-time shot from him, 1 of 1, 9 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. Solid game from Ron, continues his nice season. Karis LeVert, just a yo-yo game. He was hot in the first quarter. Came in, hit 2 threes. I think had like a nice layup, I want to say. And then the next 2 possessions throws up air balls. One of them was a heat check. One was trying to like shoot it over the backboard. I think he thought he got fouled, but yeah, interesting Karis game. Probably his best as a Piston, but I'm not going to get on him tonight. I think the 3 turnovers hurts a little bit. Just not sure about him as a ball handler, to be honest, running an offense. I think the Pistons will be desperate to get Sasa and Ivy back. Not that they're pure playmakers either, but Karis just looks out of sync as a playmaker. Like, I think I like him a lot more next to Cade, and if he can knock down the open threes, that's what we want. But him as like your lead initiator, I'm just not really seeing it right now. But I don't want to make this about Karis. I think overall, we'll take that win. I was expecting a close game. I didn't expect the Jazz to lie down, even without Walker Kessler, like I said, at this stage of the season. So I'd love to know your thoughts below. Pistons now have their first NBA Cup game against the Brooklyn Nets on Friday night. But we'll have an episode out for you tomorrow. And then following the Nets game will be the channel's new live show. So I'll be releasing more information on that tomorrow. So I'm sure you're going to be very excited about it. Would appreciate if you could all tune in. I think Pistons fans are going to love it. But more on that tomorrow. But until next time, as always, go Pistons.